Welcome to Kieu Dung channel. If this is your first time here, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share to support me in creating more meaningful videos.
Today, we follow Sung Luyen and CEO James. After many long days working far from home, James has finally returned. He wants to spend this entire day with her, taking her to a beautiful tourist destination he has planned for a long time. As the car gently rolls forward, it carries with it excitement, tenderness, and the warm feeling of being together again.
On the way up the mountain, they stop at a small roadside restaurant for breakfast. The place is quiet, filled with the smell of warm food and the sound of morning traffic passing by. They sit together, smiling, enjoying every simple moment as if it were something precious. Over bowls of hot soup and cups of tea, they talk gently about life, about dreams, and about the peaceful day that lies ahead. Today, little Kieu has to go to school, so she cannot join them on this trip. Even though they miss her, they both know that studying well will open doors for her future. After finishing their meal, they take a deep breath, feel grateful, and get ready to continue the long road toward the high mountains and the beautiful destination waiting for them. When they finally reach the mountain resort, the clouds move slowly across the sky, wrapping the tall buildings like a soft white blanket. The air is cool, fresh, and peaceful. Tourists are everywhere, taking pictures, laughing together, and enjoying the beauty of the high mountains. James and Sung Luyen step out of the car and stand quietly for a moment, just looking around. The view feels almost magical, as if they have stepped into another world. James turns to her, smiling warmly. He gently tells her how beautiful she is today, and how perfectly the clothes he bought for her seem to match her style, her kindness, and her gentle spirit. His words make her shy, but inside, her heart feels light and happy. Then, in a simple but touching moment, James bends down and carefully ties her shoelaces, checking each knot so she will not trip while walking. To anyone else, it may look like a small act, but to her, it is a reminder that real love is shown through quiet care, patience, and attention to the little things.
They choose a quiet corner beneath a large tree where the sunlight gently filters through the branches, creating soft golden spots on the ground. From there, they can see the mountains stretching endlessly, wrapped in drifting mist. The world below seems far away, as if all worries have been left behind. For a long moment, they simply sit side by side. No phones, no noise. Just the sound of the wind, birds calling, and the rustling leaves. Sung Luyen slowly breathes out, feeling her heart grow lighter. She whispers that this is the first time in her life she has ever visited a place like this. Calm, beautiful, almost dreamlike. She admits that in the past, most of her days were filled with work, responsibilities, and worries about the future. Traveling, resting, enjoying nature, those things always felt too far away. And now, sitting here, she realizes how big the world really is and how small her life has always felt. Turning to James, she thanks him softly. She thanks him for bringing her here, for thinking of her needs, and for giving her this rare chance to breathe and feel alive again. She knows that his work is demanding and that he must often leave home for many days because the company has many projects to complete. Yet, despite all that pressure, he still finds time to care. James smiles gently. He tells her that everyone deserves moments like this, moments to stop, to rest, and to remember what truly matters.
He reminds her that success is not measured only by money or position, but also by the peace we carry in our hearts and the people we choose to care for. After resting for a while, they stand up and begin walking again. The stone path curves slowly through the gardens. Flowers in different colors bloom on both sides, lightly swaying in the breeze. Small streams flow beneath wooden bridges, and the water sparkles like glass under the sunlight. They pass by families laughing while taking pictures, children running freely without worry, couples holding hands and enjoying the cool mountain air. Everywhere, people come seeking rest, trying to escape the noise of busy cities and the heavy weight of everyday life. As they walk, James and Sung Luyen continue talking about their childhood memories, about difficult days they had to endure, and about the hopes they still carry for the future. Sometimes they share stories that make them laugh. Other times they fall silent, lost in their own thoughts, yet still feeling connected. Every step they take feels gentle, unhurried. The resort becomes more than a place to visit. It becomes a space where they can slow down and truly see each other. Around them, more tourists arrive, filling the paths, cafes, and viewpoints. But inside, both of them feel calm, as if time itself has slowed. And as they continue their walk through the beautiful mountain resort, they quietly realize something important, that days like this do not happen often, and when they do, they must be treasured, remembered, and carried in the heart like a precious gift. As they keep walking, they come to a viewpoint overlooking the entire valley. From up high, the town looks tiny. The houses, the roads, the moving cars, all like little toys. The clouds drift slowly beneath their feet, making everything feel unreal, like a beautiful painting. They lean on the railing and simply watch. No one speaks for a while. In that quiet moment, both of them realize how small their problems are compared to the wide, endless world around them. James gently says that life passes very quickly, and if we never pause, we might miss the beautiful moments meant for us. Sung Luyen nods, feeling deeply grateful, not only for the trip, but for the reminder to value herself, her life, and the people who truly care for her. After walking for quite some time, they arrive at another part of the resort. The path leads past small shops and stalls filled with local snacks. The air smells like roasted corn, sweet cakes, and warm bread fresh from the oven. James suggests they buy something to enjoy during the rest of the trip, and they slowly look through everything together. They don't rush. They talk, they laugh, and they choose a few simple treats, some fruit, a little candy, and a warm pastry to share. None of it is expensive, but the feeling is warm, like two friends enjoying life, one step at a time. With the snacks in hand, they continue walking until they find a quiet place away from the noise. There is a wooden bench near the trees, and beyond it, they can see the mountains stretching far into the distance. The place feels peaceful, almost sacred, as if time has slowed down just for them. They sit down, open their snacks, and begin to talk. They talk first about ordinary things, the road, the weather, the beautiful scenery around them. Then slowly, without forcing it, the conversation goes deeper. Sung Luyen opens her heart. She shares about the long nights when she feels tired, about the worries she carries as a mother, about the fear of not being enough. She says that sometimes life feels like a long climb uphill, and there are days when she wonders whether she has the strength to continue. James listens quietly, without interrupting. He doesn't try to fix everything, he just listens, really listens. When he finally speaks, his voice is calm and gentle. He tells her that everyone carries invisible weights. Some people hide their struggles behind smiles, but that doesn't mean they don't feel pain. He says that true courage is not pretending that everything is fine. True courage is waking up every day, choosing to love, choosing to work, choosing to keep going, even when the road feels difficult. They share the snacks like children sharing their favorite treats. Each bite tastes simple, but somehow meaningful. They realize that happiness doesn't always come from big things. Sometimes it grows from moments like this: a quiet place, honest conversation, and someone who understands. The wind moves softly through the trees. Birds fly overhead. Somewhere far away, faint laughter from tourists drift through the air. But here, in this small corner, everything feels still. James talks about life, about success, and about the pressure people put on themselves. He reminds her that money is important, work is important, but they cannot replace peace, kindness, or love. He says that when we learn to slow down, to notice beauty, and to be grateful for what we already have, life becomes lighter. Sung Luyen smiles softly. She realizes that she has often been so busy surviving that she forgot how to simply live. She feels thankful. Thankful for the trip, for the conversation, and for the gentle reassurance that she is not walking alone. They finish the snacks, but they stay sitting for a while longer. They look at the clouds drifting slowly across the sky. No words are needed. The silence itself feels healing. When they finally stand up, they feel calmer, steadier, and somehow stronger inside. As they continue their journey, they carry with them a simple truth. Life becomes beautiful, not when we have everything, but when we learn to appreciate every small blessing and cherish the people who walk beside us. They continued along the narrow path leading to a higher peak. The slope wasn't too steep, but the higher they went, the cooler the air became, with traces of morning mist lingering in the breeze. In the distance, the rows of trees appeared and disappeared in the slow-moving clouds, like a quiet river drifting across the mountain. When they finally reached the highest point, both of them stopped. In front of them stretched a sea of floating clouds. Below, they could faintly see rooftops, fields, and winding roads, thin lines drawn by human hands in the midst of vast nature. Even though it was close to noon, the sunlight only managed to break through in small patches before being swallowed again by the clouds, creating a peaceful, almost magical scene. They sat on a flat rock and took a deep breath. There were no city noises, no daily worries, only the sound of the wind and the feeling of their hearts becoming lighter. For a while, neither of them spoke, as if wanting to hold on to the moment longer. Then the young man quietly said that standing somewhere this high made him realize how small people really are, and how many of the things that upset us aren't worth carrying forever. The young woman smiled and nodded. Life is like climbing a mountain, tiring, sometimes making you want to stop, but if you keep going just a little farther, the beautiful view appears. They stop at a small tea shop perched high on the mountainside. The roof is made of wood, a few pots of flowers rest by the doorway, and behind it spreads an endless open sky. They order 2 warm drinks and choose a table that faces the valley below. From there, the clouds move slowly, wrapping around the mountain like a giant white blanket. Sometimes the mist grows so thick that everything disappears, and it feels as if they are sitting above the world. Then, as the wind passes, the clouds drift apart, revealing the tiny buildings below, the winding roads, and cars moving gently like little dots of light. They sip their drinks quietly, taking in the view. She softly says she never imagined she would one day see the world from such a height. James smiles and tells her that sometimes, when we pause and look from a different place, life suddenly feels wider, calmer, and more beautiful than we thought.
As night begins to fall, the sky slowly turns from soft blue to gentle shades of purple and gold. Lights start flickering on across the town, reflecting on windows, glowing along the roads, creating a warm, peaceful atmosphere. After a full day of walking, laughing, and exploring, James and Sung Luyen decide to find a place to rest and enjoy dinner together. They walk along a quiet street lined with restaurants, each one filled with the smell of different dishes: grilled fish, roasted meat, simmering soups. Finally, they stop in front of a cozy seafood restaurant decorated with wooden lanterns and simple tables. It feels welcoming, not noisy, not crowded, just calm. Inside, the sound of soft music mixes gently with the clinking of bowls and chopsticks. The owner greets them kindly and leads them to a small table near the corner where they can see both the kitchen and the night sky outside. Soon, the waiter brings out a hot pot set. In the center of the table sits a beautiful pot of broth, slowly heating up, sending up thin streams of steam. Around it, plate after plate arrives. Fresh shrimp with shining shells, crab legs, squid, clams, mushrooms, corn, tofu, leafy vegetables, noodles, and herbs. Everything looks colorful and full of life. For a moment, Sung Luyen just watches quietly. Her eyes soften. She has never seen such a meal prepared just for her. In the past, dinner was often simple and quick, something cheap, something filling. But tonight feels different. It feels like someone thought about her, planned for her, and wanted to give her joy. James smiles gently. "Take your time," he says. "Tonight, we don't hurry." He shows her how to place each ingredient into the broth, explaining which foods cook faster and which need to wait. When the broth finally starts to bubble, the whole table fills with fragrance, sweet, salty, slightly spicy, rich with seafood flavor. They taste the first pieces together. The warmth spreads through their bodies. They laugh softly when something is too hot and they have to cool it by blowing. They talk between bites, pausing now and then just to enjoy the moment. Their conversation slowly moves from small things to deeper things. James talks about his job, the long trips, the deadlines, the pressure. But he also admits that sometimes, even with money and success, life feels empty when there is no one to share it with. He says that days like this remind him of what truly matters. Sung Luyen listens carefully. She shares her own thoughts, the worries of being a mother, the fear of not being able to give her child enough, the tired days when everything feels heavy. But she also shares something hopeful. Days like today make her believe that kindness still exists and that life can change quietly, little by little. They pause, sipping the broth, savoring both the warmth and the silence. In that moment, they both understand a simple truth. Sometimes happiness isn't loud. It doesn't always shout or shine or show off. Sometimes happiness is gentle, like sitting across from someone who truly cares. As they continue eating, they talk about values, about gratitude, patience, and generosity. James reminds her that no matter how hard life becomes, a grateful heart can still find beauty. And when we learn to share time, love, understanding, life becomes lighter, not heavier. Sung Luyen nods. She realizes she has spent many years thinking she had to fight alone. But slowly, tonight, she feels supported, not because of expensive food, but because someone is willing to walk beside her. The hot pot slowly empties, the plates grow lighter, but their hearts feel fuller. Outside, night has fully fallen. The wind moves softly through the trees, and distant lights glitter across the valley. Inside, the warmth of the restaurant wraps around them like a blanket. They finish the last bowl, smiling quietly. This dinner becomes more than just a meal. It becomes a memory, a reminder that love, care, and kindness are worth more than luxury. And as they stand up to leave,
They carry with them not only the taste of seafood, but the gentle realization that sometimes the most beautiful gifts are simple moments shared between two people.
When they finish dinner, they step outside and breathe in the cool mountain air. The night is calm. Mist drifts slowly across the hills, and the sound of insects echoes softly in the distance. They walk together along the quiet path, talking gently about the day, about the views, the laughter, and the peaceful moments they shared. After a while, James slows down and stops. He reaches into his jacket, hesitates for a second, then carefully takes out a bundle of money. There is no pride in the gesture, only quiet concern. He looks at Sung Luyen and speaks softly. "I know life can be hard. While I'm away working, I want things to be easier for you and for Kieu. Please use this for food, for school, for whatever you need. I don't want you to worry so much." Sung Luyen is surprised. She shakes her head gently, feeling shy and unsure. She has carried responsibility for so long that accepting help feels difficult. "I shouldn't take this," she says softly. "You already do so much." But James smiles and gently places the money into her hands. "This isn't a burden," he says. "Caring for someone is never a burden. When we share what we have, life becomes lighter." Her eyes fill with quiet emotion. She nods slowly, pressing the money close to her chest. "Thank you," she whispers. "Thank you for always thinking about us, for helping me and my daughter." They continue walking, side by side, in peaceful silence. The night feels warmer now, not because of the air, but because of the kindness between them. They talk about gratitude, responsibility, and the simple truth that love is shown not only through words, but through actions. Before turning back, they pause and look at the lights below the mountain, small, shining, hopeful. To everyone watching, if this story inspires you, stay with us. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more stories about love, compassion, and the beauty of everyday life. Because when people care for one another, the world becomes a little brighter.